Most people do not fail in life because they lack talent or intelligence. They fail because they talk too much about their plans and do too little actual work. The moment you announce your goals to others, your brain feels a false sense of achievement. That early satisfaction slowly kills the hunger needed to succeed. Truly successful people understand this secret. They move quietly, they work consistently, and they let results speak for them. Silence is not weakness. Silence is a form of strength that protects focus and builds power. Motivation is emotional, and emotions are temporary. Some days you feel inspired, and some days you feel empty. Discipline, however, does not depend on feelings. Discipline means showing up even when you are tired, bored, or unmotivated. It means keeping promises you made to yourself. Over time, discipline creates self-respect. And self-respect becomes confidence. When you stop disappointing yourself, you naturally become stronger than most people around you. In today's world, the biggest problem is not lack of time but lack of attention. People lose hours scrolling, watching others live their dreams while their own lives remain unchanged. Successful individuals use social media as a tool, not as an escape. They consume with intention, create with purpose, and then disconnect. When you control your attention, you control the direction of your life. Life does not change through massive actions taken once in a while. It changes through small improvements made every single day. You do not need to transform overnight. You only need to become slightly better than you were yesterday. Reading a few pages, learning one new idea, improving one skill. These small actions compound over time. Consistency is more powerful than talent, and patience always outperforms speed. Many people fear being alone, but solitude is not loneliness. Solitude gives clarity. In silence, you hear your own thoughts without noise or influence. Most powerful decisions are made away from crowds, opinions, and distractions. That is why leaders protect their quiet time. Growth requires moments of isolation where focus can grow without interruption. Emotional control is one of the most underrated skills in life. Anger leads to poor decisions. Ego destroys opportunities, and fear blocks progress. Strong people pause before reacting. They choose logic over impulse and long-term growth over short-term satisfaction. True power is not shown by how loudly you speak, but by how well you control yourself. The way you start your morning determines how you live your day. People who begin their day by checking their phone immediately allow the world to control their mindset. Those who start with intention, movement, reflection, planning, create momentum. Winning the morning often means winning the day, and winning days eventually builds a winning life. Not every environment supports your growth. Constant negativity, complaints, and drama slowly weaken your mindset. Protecting your mental space is not selfish. It is necessary. You cannot grow in places that constantly drain your energy. Choosing distance from negativity is often the first step toward self-respect. Most people choose comfort now and struggle later. Successful people choose struggle now and freedom later. They delay gratification because they understand that real pleasure comes from achievement, not distraction. This habit builds financial stability, mental strength, and emotional independence over time. Stop trying to prove yourself to everyone. You do not need to explain your journey. When results arrive, explanations become unnecessary. Work quietly, stay consistent, and remain patient. One day your success will speak louder than any words ever could. Most people believe that talking about their goals makes them real. They think that sharing their dreams will create motivation, support, and accountability, but in reality, the opposite often happens. Talking too much about your goals can quietly destroy them. This is not motivational theory. It is human psychology. The people who achieve extraordinary success usually follow one unspoken rule. They work in silence and let results make the noise. When you talk about your goals, your brain experiences a sense of progress even though no real work has been done. Neuroscience shows that when you receive praise, attention, or approval, your brain releases dopamine, the same chemical released when you actually achieve something. This false reward tricks your mind into believing you are already moving forward. As a result, your urgency decreases, your hunger fades, and your discipline weakens. You feel productive without being productive. This is why many people feel excited after announcing a goal, but slowly lose interest in pursuing it. The emotional reward arrives too early. Instead of being driven by internal commitment, they become dependent on external validation. When applause replaces effort, progress stops. Another danger of talking about your goals is exposure to opinions. The moment you share your plans, you invite judgment. Some people will doubt you. Some will discourage you. Others may project their own fears onto your vision. Even well-meaning advice can plant seeds of uncertainty. Not everyone can see what you see, and not everyone wants you to succeed. Protecting your goals from unnecessary opinions is an act of self-respect. Silence creates psychological safety. When no one knows what you are building, no one can interfere with your process. You are free to experiment, fail, adjust, and grow without pressure. Public goals create public expectations, and expectations create anxiety. Many people quit not because the goal is impossible, but because the pressure of being watched becomes overwhelming. Working quietly removes this burden. There is also the issue of identity. When people talk about their goals, they often start identifying as the person they want to become rather than the person they currently are. Someone who talks about becoming successful begins to see themselves as almost successful, even though nothing has changed yet. This premature identity shift reduces effort. True transformation requires action before identity, not identity before action. Real confidence is silent. Loud confidence often hides insecurity. People who constantly talk about their plans are often seeking reassurance. They want others to believe in them because they do not fully believe in themselves yet. In contrast, those who are deeply committed do not need approval. Their belief is internal. Their confidence comes from daily effort, not from words. History repeatedly shows this pattern. The most effective leaders, innovators, and creators rarely announce their next move. They focus, execute, and reveal only when the work is done. Silence allows strategy. Noise invites interference. The quieter you become, the clearer your thinking becomes. Another important reason to stop talking about your goals is energy conservation. Talking consumes energy. Explaining your plans repeatedly drains emotional and mental resources that should be used for execution. Every explanation is a small leak in your focus. Over time, these leaks weaken momentum. Success requires deep concentration, and deep concentration thrives in silence. There is also the risk of comparison. When you share your goals publicly, you start measuring your progress against others' expectations or timelines. This creates unnecessary pressure and self-doubt. Your journey is unique. Your pace is personal. Silence allows you to move at your natural rhythm without distraction. Working quietly also builds resilience. When no one knows what you are doing, you learn to rely on yourself. You develop internal discipline instead of external motivation. This self-reliance is critical because motivation is temporary, but discipline is permanent. Quiet workers learn to continue even when no one is watching, praising or encouraging them. Silence also sharpens your standards. When no one knows your plans, you are not tempted to exaggerate progress or pretend success. You face the truth honestly. You know whether you worked today or not. You know whether you improved or stayed the same. This honesty is uncomfortable, but it is powerful. Growth begins with truth. Another overlooked benefit of silence is protection from envy. Not everyone who smiles at your dreams wants the best for you. Some people feel threatened by ambition they do not have. Sharing too early exposes your goals to jealousy, which can manifest as subtle sabotage, discouragement, or negative energy. Keeping your plans private protects them from this invisible resistance. Silence also trains patience. When you stop talking, you stop rushing for recognition. Silence also trains patience. When you stop talking, you stop rushing for recognition. You learn to value long-term results over short-term praise. This mindset is essential for meaningful success. Anything valuable takes time. Quiet effort teaches you to respect the process instead of chasing attention. It is important to understand that silence does not mean secrecy driven by fear. It means strategic restraint. You are not hiding because you are afraid. You are protecting because you are serious. Silence is a sign of maturity. Children announce what they will do. Adults show what they have done. This principle applies to all areas of life: career, fitness, education, business, and personal growth. If you are building strength, build it quietly. If you are learning a skill, practice silently. If you are changing your habits, let the change reveal itself through behavior, not announcements. Consistent action always speaks louder than words. One of the most powerful moments in life is when people notice your progress without you ever mentioning it. When someone says, "You've changed," "You've improved," or "You're doing well," without knowing your effort, that is real validation. That kind of respect cannot be demanded. It must be earned through silent work. Eventually, results will expose what words tried to claim. At that point, explanation becomes unnecessary. People will ask how you did it. Your silence will have made your success louder. In the end, not talking about your goals is not about being mysterious. It is about being effective. Silence protects focus. Focus creates discipline. Discipline produces results. And results speak for themselves. So work quietly, improve daily. Stay patient. Let your effort grow where no one can see it. And when the time comes, let your success do all the talking. One of the most overlooked dangers of talking about your goals is how it locks you into a rigid version of the future. When you speak your plans out loud, especially to many people, you subconsciously feel pressure to follow the exact path you described. Even when growth requires change, silent builders adapt freely. They pivot without explaining, adjust without embarrassment, and evolve without justification. Flexibility is a hidden advantage of silence, allowing progress to remain fluid rather than fragile. Talking about goals can also create a performance mindset instead of a mastery mindset. When others are watching, you begin to focus on appearing successful rather than becoming skilled. You start optimizing for image instead of improvement. Quiet work removes the audience and returns attention to the craft itself. Mastery thrives when the focus is internal, when improvement matters more than applause, and when progress is measured by competence rather than recognition. Another critical point is that silence strengthens intuition. When you are not influenced by constant feedback, opinions, or expectations, you begin to trust your inner judgment. You learn to listen to signals that are easy to ignore when surrounded by noise, fatigue, resistance, curiosity, excitement. These signals guide smarter decisions. Silence creates space for intuition, and intuition often leads where logic alone cannot. There is also a spiritual dimension to silence that many people underestimate. Quiet effort builds humility. It removes ego from the process. When you are not announcing your goals, you are less attached to how others perceive you. This humility allows learning. People who talk less are more willing to admit mistakes, seek improvement, and grow beyond their current limitations. Ego demands attention. Growth demands humility. Silence also builds emotional endurance. When you stop talking about your goals, you stop receiving constant encouragement. This forces you to develop inner strength. You learn to move forward without praise, without reassurance, and without applause. This emotional independence is essential because success is often lonely before it is admired. Those who cannot endure silence often quit before progress becomes visible. Another benefit of silence is clarity of priorities. When goals are private, you choose them because they matter to you, not because they sound impressive to others. Many people chase goals they do not truly want, simply because they enjoy how those goals look socially. Silence removes this temptation. It forces honesty. You either work on what matters to you or you do nothing at all. There is no performance to maintain. Silence also reduces the fear of failure. When no one knows your plans, failure becomes less threatening. You can fail privately, learn quietly, and try again without shame. This freedom increases experimentation, and experimentation accelerates growth. Many people avoid bold action because they fear public failure. Quiet workers take more risks because they are not risking their image. Another powerful point is how silence sharpens observation. When you stop talking about what you will do, you start noticing how things actually work. You observe patterns, systems, and behaviors more clearly. You learn from others without announcing your intentions. This observational learning is one of the fastest ways to improve, and it is only possible when ego is quiet. Silence also prevents premature celebration. Celebrating too early weakens discipline. It creates a false sense of arrival. Quiet effort keeps hunger alive. Hunger is essential for sustained effort. The people who achieve the most are rarely satisfied early. They delay celebration until results are undeniable. There is also a social advantage to silence. People respect mystery. When you do not explain yourself, you are not easily categorized or dismissed. Your actions speak before your words. Over time, people begin to watch instead of question. This subtle shift changes how others perceive you, not as someone who talks about potential, but as someone who delivers. Silence trains patience in a world obsessed with speed. When you stop talking, you stop rushing to show progress. You allow growth to happen naturally. This patience builds depth. Shallow success arrives quickly and disappears just as fast. Deep success grows slowly and lasts longer. Silence protects this depth. Another important insight is that silence builds integrity. When no one knows your goals, the only person you can lie to is yourself. This creates a strong internal moral compass. You either did the work or you didn't. There is no external narrative to hide behind. This honesty strengthens character, and character sustains success. Silence also enhances gratitude. When you are not chasing recognition, You begin to appreciate small wins privately. You find satisfaction in progress itself, not in how it looks to others. This quiet gratitude fuels consistency because the journey becomes rewarding, not just the destination. Finally, silence prepares you for impact. When the time comes to speak, your words carry weight. When you finally share your story, people listen because your results back it up. Silence does not remove your voice. It sharpens it. It ensures that when you speak, you are speaking from experience, not intention. In a world where everyone announces their plans, the quiet ones stand out. They do not seek attention. They earn respect. They do not chase validation. They build value. They do not talk about becoming strong. They become strong. So remain silent, not because you are unsure, but because you are focused. Let your effort grow in the dark. Let your discipline mature without interruption. And when the time is right, let your results say everything you never needed to explain.